Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm sharing a journal I've made for Tim Holtz Ideology Christmas release for 2022. When I saw the two large frames in the baseboard pack, I knew I wanted to make covers for a book. I framed this beautiful print from the Botanical Layers pack, grunged everything up with some distressed snowfall grit paste and mica crayons. I've cut the Merry and Bright quote chip in half, punched a hole on the left side, countersunk a droplet into that, and then you can see I've put the second half below on that little box that I've made. I'll talk more about that box when we get inside. For my back cover, I've framed a portion of a plaid backdrop paper, which is a perfect backdrop for that botanical image. Those come in the Botanical Layers pack, which is one of my favorites this year. To connect my front and back cover, I've taken two pieces of backdrop papers, glued those together just to add a little bit of extra strength, added eyelets top and bottom, which allows me to use twine to bind my pages into the book. This way I can add pages, remove pages, rearrange, which is always a nice option. And it's always fun to hang things from the twine. I love the Ideology loop pins, which allowed me to use a tiny bell, and I actually went right through that confections with the loop pin. On the inside cover, I've used a snapshot torn in half and then layered some different pieces of ephemera. I have one of the Botanical Layers on that inside cover. On the first page, I've used a lot of Ideology. Love the heart adornments, which are in the Everyday line. I love that page. And now you can see where I've taken a medium-sized pocket card, folded it in half, which creates a channel for me to feed the twine through. I've simply glued that between my two pages. You can see here where it's between these two pages. And my pages are actually pocket cards where I've put those back to back. I've done some tearing of the papers, layered on top of those with lots of Ideology and remnant rubs. I have a metal deco frame framing that Laughing Girl photo, which is always a favorite. And I've used a little bit of crackle on that photo. So for my box, I have a magnet closure. I've simply added magnets between the papers on either end of the box. This is a full sheet of backdrops that I've scored a 1/2-inch panel on either side, and then I've used medium-sized pocket cards to create the flaps top and bottom. The eyelets in the left panel allow for my twine, and I've added a vintage button and a snowflake adornment to that twine. And of course, this is a tiny envelope from POSTALE Chapter 3. I've used a confections candy cane, an heirloom flower, some bits and pieces from the ephemera pack. I have a remnant rub on this side, a tiny clip holding it closed. And then inside I have one of the smallest pocket cards, and it's just gorgeous. This is why I made the box. I wanted somewhere to hold small little things that could be tucked away. I've cut a file folder from Chapter 3 Specimen, and I love that paper that I've used. The botanical on the front is so awesome. And I have a loop pin with an antique gem that's pinned to a little piece of fabric. I have a mirrored star and a flare. Inside is a transparency frame from the baseboard pack. I've used some grit paste on that and crayon. The image is from the backdrop papers, and I've used a little crackle on that. Really love that little photo. On the back, I have a portion of a pocket card, and I've added a tiny bell to the twine. Love that paper. And now you can see how the box closes up. The magnet holds it closed. On the side of the box, a word plaque that I've painted red. I love those. And then I have a snapshot and some of those beautiful botanicals on the back of the box. The page on the right, I've used the largest pocket card for the base. And then I have a lot of rub-ons and ephemera, the paper dolls. You can see I've hinged it in the same way as the first page. The last page, I've done a lot of tearing of the papers. I have ephemera. The photo is from the Christmas paper doll pack. I have a rub-on and a little bit of collage paper that I've left loose. I've just taped that down with the design tape. And on the right, I have the other half of the snapshot that's on the front inside cover. On all my slick images, like the photos, the paper dolls, the layers pieces, I've used distress frosted crystals. That's always my go-to because I love the pixelated look that it gives. I hope you've enjoyed my flip through, and I will catch you next time.